My name is Mason Sechrist, and I am honored to serve as the assistant principal here at Canfield High School. On behalf of our entire district, let me welcome friends, family, and guests of the class of 2026. We are grateful to have you here to celebrate our seniors. Before we begin, we ask for your cooperation on a few items. First, please save your applause until the end of the ceremony after all graduates have received their diplomas. We want to honor each student's moment and let their guests clearly hear their name. Next, please do not come onto the field to take pictures during the event. Platform dignitaries and faculty members will remain after the ceremony to take pictures. Finally, Canfield Schools adheres to a formal graduation ceremony. We hope that all attending will respect the decorum and protocol that such a ceremony requires. I would like to share a few interesting features of the ceremony. With regards to seating, cum laude students will be announced first by level and alphabetically. Summa cum laude students graduating with highest honors will wear gold cords. Magna cum laude students graduating with high honors will wear red and black cords. And cum laude students graduating with honors will wear red and white cords. Further, please note in the program that many of our students are designated with having earned honors diplomas, National Honor Society selection, and/or PTA academic awards. Although only locally awarded scholarships will be announced today, it is significant to note that our 2026 graduates will receive over $5.4 million in scholarships. Also, special thanks to Aunt Julie's Farm Market for the beautiful display of greenery around our podium. We are now ready to welcome the class of 2026 to the field. Again, thank you for honoring our graduates today with your time and attention.
I've been there many times.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, our graduates will process into the stadium. Please rise as they march to their seats.
You okay? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Potts, and I have the distinct honor and privilege to serve as principal of Canfield High School. On behalf of the Board of Education, Superintendent, Administration, and staff, I would like to welcome you to the graduation of the Canfield High School class of 2026. I would like to acknowledge some dignitaries sitting behind me. Our Superintendent, Mr. Joseph Knoll, our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. John Vitto, our Assistant Principal, Mr. Mason Seacrest, and also with us today, our Board of Education President, Mr. Steve DeMilo, our Board Vice President, Mr. Nader Atway, and Board Member, Mrs. Jill DeRamo. I would also like to recognize two senior class advisors who've spent a tremendous amount of time organizing and overseeing all of the senior fundraisers and activities all year, including this graduation ceremony. A special round of applause, please, for Mrs. Kate Antall and Mrs. Kristen Gennaro. I would also like to point out some very important guests, without which our students would not be here celebrating today. The incredible teaching staff at Canfield High School and the teachers and staff members from all of our wonderful schools that built these students towards this celebration today. Staff, would you please stand and be recognized? We also have a tremendous support staff that's critical to the success of all we achieve on many different fronts. If you are support staff, secretaries, parapros, maintenance, custodians, bus drivers, or food service workers, please stand and be recognized. Now would everyone please rise as you're able, as Senior Lainey Monterelli leads us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You're fine, you're fine.
Thank you, Lainey. At this time, our senior class president, Ms. Shanzi Bajwa, will offer the invocation.
You may now be seated. Good afternoon. To the families and friends present here today, to the staff, administrators, special guests, and to the Board of Education, welcome. To the grandparents, parents, and siblings of this year's graduates, thank you for being here today to celebrate this extraordinary class. And to the class of 2026, The day we have long awaited has finally arrived. Now, I'm gonna be honest for a second. When I was asked what I wanted to come on stage and speak about, I was uncertain. I could talk about success, the importance of grades, or the future. But instead, I want to talk about a word. That word being love. Now, I know some of you in the audience are probably thinking, what does love have to do with graduation? Well, I'm here today to tell you that love is one of the most important aspects of our lives. When we think about our high school experience, we often think about our accomplishments and successes. The tests we passed or failed, the games we won or lost, the colleges we got into, our awards and transcripts. We are so quick to measure the past 4 years of our lives with numbers, rankings, and milestones. However, years from now, those things are going to be on the back burner of what we remember most. Instead, we will remember the people we loved. We'll remember the friends who saved us seats at the lunch table, the teachers who gave us extra time on tests, late night phone calls with friends, everyday conversations, school dances, and moments that we failed to stop and enjoy. When we wonder why these moments matter so much, we see that love is at the root of it all. The love I, as well as others, saw in my parents when they showed me endless support in every endeavor. The love we saw in our grandparents when they bragged about us to everyone they came across. The love we saw in coaches who pushed us to become the best version of ourselves. The love we saw in friends when they always stood by us during our toughest moments. Sometimes love was prevalent and staring right at us, and other times love was quiet. Sometimes it was a loud applause in the stands, and others it was simply a text telling you to get home safe. And through these experiences, we were taught that love is more than just a feeling. Love is a choice. Love is building empathy to include someone who's sitting alone. Love is choosing kindness when you are being pressured to judge instead. Love is choosing forgiveness rather than grudges after disagreements. We live in a world that is constantly moving. A world where people are so quick to judge others, argue, criticize, and become divided. Every single day, we are told to compete with each other for the sole purpose of self-gain. But love reminds us that life is not meant to be lived in isolation or envy, because in 15 years, no one's going to remember how many Instagram followers you had, how many AP or CCP classes you took, or whether or not you were popular. People are only going to remember how you made them feel, whether or not you were kind, whether or not you listened, and whether or not you cared. We as a class have been through many obstacles together. From stressful tests to COVID in 6th grade, some of us struggled quietly with anxiety, insecurity, or simply feeling lost. But we all pulled through and made it here today because we supported one another. That's love. Now that we're finally leaving this place, all of us are heading in different directions. Some of us are going to college while others are headed into a trade, the military, the workforce, or anywhere in between. And while all of our paths may look different right now, we will all relate to each other when we face moments that feel overwhelming or difficult to overcome. There will be times we fail, times relationships end, and times we question our own abilities. In these very moments, real love will matter more than anything else. The love that stays, the love that forgives, and the love that believes in you. The most important love that we will ever learn, loving ourselves. Because after constantly comparing ourselves with one another, we convinced ourselves that our worth was conditional with our achievement. But I'm here today to tell you that you are worthy for the sole reason that you are yourself. And I hope that as time moves on, we all give ourselves the compassion we so easily give to others. Because I have seen how much compassion this class has firsthand. I've seen students raise money or supplies for families in need. I've seen students comforting each other after hard losses. I've seen students complimenting each other in the hallway for the sole purpose of brightening another student's day. These acts of love and kindness hold more weight than we see. So here's what I hope is taken away from my speech today. Success without love is empty, achievements fade, trophies collect dust, and titles change. But what remains a constant in life is the love we give to others and the love we leave behind. No one's going to remember my exact speech once time passes, and that's okay. But what I hope is remembered is the feeling of sitting next to people who shaped this chapter of your life. The feeling of knowing we survived these years together. So lead with love no matter where your journey takes you. Love your friends, love your family, love your community, and most importantly, love yourself. And never be afraid to care deeply in a world that constantly tells you not to. Because at the end of the day, love is not a weakness. Love is the strongest thing we have. Congratulations to the class of 2026, and thank you.
Thank you, Shanzi. You've been a great class president. Would the senior choir members please join the rest of the choir over at the risers as we're about to hear a selection from our choir. Thank you, Ms. Mullins and choir. Appreciate that selection. On behalf of the Canfield Board of Education and myself as superintendent, I would also like to welcome our honored guests up in the stands and a special appreciation and congratulations to the graduating class of 2026. Superintendent usually has two jobs when it comes to graduation. Number one is the weather. How about an amen for that on Sunday? All right. As compared to last week, we're really grateful for the weather. And the second one is to come forward and offer some words of encouragement, talk about all the achievements of the class. But this year, the superintendent's going to take a little different route. I am going to bestow my time of honoring the class, the graduating class, and give my time to Principal Dr. Potts. As many of you know, after 27 years in the field of education, Dr. Potts has decided to retire. So, would you please join me in giving Dr. Potts a warm Canfield welcome? Good afternoon, families, faculty, staff, dignitaries, and friends of Canfield High School, and especially this class of 2026 to whom these remarks are directed. You know, I got up this morning and realized it was my last day with you. And really, my last day with students before retiring. I just can't believe the years have gone by so quickly. When you spend decades in high schools, the students are always the same age. But every year you get a little older, so it sneaks up on you. I was looking in the mirror this morning. I noticed these bags under my eyes and some wrinkles and a body that looked a little too round and soft. And I thought back a few years to when I looked in the mirror and saw a young man with bright eyes, an athletic body who was ready to take on the world looking back at me. And as I reflected back to that time, I couldn't help but think, you know, they just don't make mirrors like they used to. But in all seriousness, I know these years of high school flew by for most of you, especially your senior year. You may be thinking, where did the time go? I know what your parents are thinking this afternoon. Where did those 18 years go? I just put them on the bus for kindergarten and blinked, and here we are at graduation. And that is how life is. The days are long, but the years are short. You know that on a gravestone in a cemetery, there are two numbers separated by a dash. The first number is the year the person was born, then a dash, and the second number was the year that they died. And all of us in this stadium, we know our first number already. And all of us here are somewhere in our dash right now. My question for you this afternoon is, what are you going to do with your dash? How will you use it to maximize your life? How will you use it in service to others, as Mr. Wenzel recommends? How will you use it to slay the day, as Mr. Hurdley encourages? What will you do with your dash? Time is, I believe, our most valuable commodity. Do not take it for granted or waste what you have. When you get to my age, and hopefully well before that, you realize that when you wake up in the morning, it's not just one more day. It's actually one less day. It's one less day to spend with my wife, one less day to accomplish my goals, one less day to serve God, one less day to make a positive impact in this life, and one less day with the people I love. And when you realize that each new day is actually one less day, you begin to appreciate what a gift another day truly is, and how valuable the time is that God has given us. So I'm asking you today, do not waste that gift of time, because once it's gone, you can't ever get it back. So please use what you have wisely. I reflect back to a time of regret from my early 20s, when life taught me a lesson about how precious time is. I wasn't much older than you, and wasn't taking very much time to visit my grandma, because, you know, I was busy. But one week, my grandmother asked me to commit to a lunch date with her. She wanted me to take her to Arby's. I know Arby's didn't matter so much, she just wanted to spend time with me. Well, I got the chance to work an extra shift that day, so I ended up canceling with my grandmother. She seemed disappointed, but I assured her, we can go next week, same day, same time. Well, the next week, the same day, was actually her funeral. I can't tell you how much I regret canceling on her. Whatever I made working that extra shift, I would have paid 100 times more to get to do that lunch over again with her. If I could go back and have one more conversation, one more hug, one more roast beef with horsey sauce and a curly fry with her, I would do it in a heartbeat. But life doesn't always give us do-overs. We don't always get one more chance. So seize the moment, share that hug, make that phone call, take your grandma to lunch. Tell people you love them, show up for people, because someday you may not get another chance. I talked to a pastor friend several years ago who had worked in hospice for many years, and he pointed out that when he asked people near the end of their life if they had any regrets, no one ever told them they wished they would have worked more overtime or made more money. He said no one ever told them they wished they would have had a bigger house or a nicer car. The regrets people shared with him were things like, I wish I would have made up with my dad before he died. I wish I wouldn't have let a stupid argument cause division between my sister and I for all those years. I wish I would have worked less and spent more time with my kids when they were young. Or it could be a regret like, I wish I would have gone to lunch with my grandmother. I didn't know it was going to be my last chance. Because when you strip everything else away, what matters most in life is not titles, money, or possessions. It's our relationships. That is why how we treat people matters. There's a quote from Maya Angelou that I had taped to my podium for all the years that I taught history and government. It said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget the way you made them feel." It was there to remind me every day to try to make my students feel welcomed, valued, seen, and intellectually safe. And that lesson's not just for the classroom, it's for life. How we treat people matters. Make people feel special. Make them feel valued. Make people feel seen and heard. Make them feel like they matter, because they do, so much more than things. Some of you will become doctors, nurses, engineers, business owners, teachers, parents, coaches, or community leaders. But no matter what title you hold someday, and many of you are going to hold very impressive titles, your greatest legacy will not be your resume. It'll be the way you treated people along the way. That is how you'll be remembered, and also how you'll be judged. I consider myself so blessed that I got to know so many of you over these past 3 years. You made me laugh, you made me proud, you made me smile. Sometimes you made me slap my forehead and wonder, what in the world are you thinking? But mostly you challenged me, you encouraged me, and you gave me hope for the future. And although I'm finding it a little difficult to say goodbye today, I'm reminded of the words of that great philosopher, Winnie the Pooh, who said, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." Class of 2026, thank you for letting me be a small part of your story. Now go live your dash well. Make every moment count. Thank you, congratulations, and God bless you. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Todd Starkey, a proud 1989 Canfield High School graduate, accomplished collegiate basketball coach, devoted father, and respected leader in women's athletics. Coach Starkey has spent more than 25 years building successful basketball programs at every level of college athletics. Most recently, he served 10 years as head coach of the women's basketball team at Kent State University, where he became one of the winningest coaches in program history and led the Golden Flashes to multiple postseason appearances, including the program's first NCAA tournament berth in more than 2 decades. He now continues his coaching career as associate head coach of the women's basketball program at the University of Arizona. Beyond his success on the court, Coach Starkey is known for his leadership, mentorship, and dedication to family. He is the proud father of 4 children, Drew, Logan, Brooke, and Michaela. Many of you know his son, Drew Starkey, for his role in the Netflix series Outer Banks. But today, we're honored to celebrate the example and accomplishments of his father, one of Canfield's own. Please join me in warmly welcoming Coach Todd Starkey.
Pull this out of here. I'm not a great podium speaker. I'm usually running up and down sidelines yelling at referees. So a couple things I want to cover. The first thing, Lainey, where's Lainey, who just sang the net? I don't think most people appreciate how much guts that took. You did a great job. You killed it. Great job. To get up in front of your classmates and sing the national anthem on graduation day, well done. Shawnzy, where's Shawnzy? Back there? You just changed my whole speech, and so did you, Dr. Potts, because everything that you two said, I was going to cover, so we're going to change. I'm serious. This is pretty much worthless. You've already heard it once or twice, so we're going to change that. I'm going to talk a little bit about community here, because this community, you talked about love, Shanzi, and when I was sitting in your seats in 1989, by the way, are there any people in the stands that graduated in the class of 1989 from Canfield High School? If you did, please stand up. Seriously, are there any, do I have any classmates here? Class of 89, wave your hand so I can see you. Do we have any? We got a couple. Make sure you come see me afterwards. I want to reconnect. It's great to see you. So, and then where's Coach Cullen? I know Coach Cullen's here. Where is he? He's up in the stands. Coach Cullen over here. The course of and direction of my life was immediately affected by that man. And the fact that I'm standing up here probably speaking to you as a quote-unquote successful college basketball coach has a lot to do with Coach Cullen and all the young men that you had an incredible impact on over the years here at Canfield High School. So I salute you, Coach. Love you. Over to my left, Coach Pav. You guys know him as Mr. Pavlansky probably. Coach Pav was my JV coach. That means he's really old because I'm getting pretty old. So, Coach, we both had a little more hair, less gray back in those days. I probably was the reason you have a little bit of gray. But I still remember we were playing a scrimmage game down at Lisbon, and I can't remember, it was my sophomore, junior year, I was on JV, and I came to you and I said, Coach, I'm going to have 15 points, 10 rebounds today. And you kind of gave me this look like you've never proven you could do anything like that in your life. And he said, if you get 15 and 10, you probably don't remember this, do you? If you get 15 and 10, we'll move you up to varsity. Well, I had 14 and 9, I stayed on JV, so that's a true story. You don't remember that, I do. Failure's a great motivator, right? So is fear. So I want to talk about a couple other things. When I was sitting in your seats just a few years ago, 1989, I don't remember who was the commencement speaker. I don't remember anything that they said. I was just ready to walk across stage, get my diploma, maybe figure out where I was going to eat with my family, how much money was going to be in my cards for my graduation party. Was it going to be a check or cash? There was this thing a few years ago called checks where you wrote down and they represented money, yeah. So now it's Venmo, but how much cash you were going to have. I actually left my graduation party early because my classmate Todd Benson said, hey, you want to go to Ocean City for senior week? And I was like, let me see if my parents will let me. Actually, let me just tell them I'm going. I went through all my cards. This is a true story. I went through all my cards. I got every bit of cash out of those cards. I said thank you to all the people in my party. I left my graduation party early to go to Ocean City. Pretty high character move right there. So we had a great time though. Creating memories. The other thing that I remember about graduation was how ready I was to leave Canfield. I was ready to be out of this place. I thought this in some ways was like, Canfield, there's bigger things out there for me to do. I was going to school down in North Carolina. I was just ready to be out of this place. And what I will tell you is every year that's passed since I've left Canfield, the level of love I have for this community and the amount of appreciation that I have for this place that helped raise me has grown exponentially. And I've coached in front of 17,000 people. I've given speeches, but this is different. I grew up here. 60 Dartmouth Avenue, 6th house on the left. I used to ride my bike all over this community. I used to come up here. We weren't members of the swim club. I kind of turned the high school into my own private club because I remember we got basketball courts over here outdoors. Those didn't used to be there. I spent every day during the summer on those basketball courts. I can't tell you the number of times I was close to throwing up running around this track, running track. I remember my senior year right over there on that turn. It was a May track meet. And it was snowing, another reason why I was ready to leave Canfield. It was May and it was snowing, and I false started in the 400. I was our best 400 meter runner. I false started in the 400 in the districts because I was shivering in the starting blocks. So all those things to say this, as time goes on, there is no doubt in my mind you will come to appreciate what this community, what the people in these stands have really done for you, how much this community has poured into you, and what a special place Canfield is. I've been all over the world. I've traveled a lot of places. I left here as a role player, basketball player, and 5 years later I was playing professional basketball in Romania. And I played against some of my teammates who were from Romania when they were 14 years old, were part of a communist revolution, and they were carrying guns through the street just trying to survive. It gave me a whole new perspective on what I had here and how truly blessed I was to be a graduate and a product of Canfield, Ohio. This is a special place. I want all you graduates, I want you to look into those stands. I know we've already appreciated the people behind me and to the sides, but I want you to look into those stands and I want you to give them a round of applause for getting you to this point. You don't realize how much work it took and how many sleepless nights a lot of those people had just getting you to this stage. So congratulations to all of you and everything that you've done to pour into the lives of these young people and prepare them for this day. You're to be commended. When I was in high school here, I'm going to try something here. Every time I've moved, I've found my high school letterman's jacket. I just recently moved 2 months ago to Tucson, Arizona to take on a new job, and I found it again. I was like, well, I'm going to speak at graduation. I'm going to see if that fits. Little precursor to this, I got my letterman's jacket my freshman year. I was 5'10", 125 pounds. Coach, this is for you. I was 5'10", 125 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in my pockets. I was so skinny I could tread water in a garden hose. I was so skinny I probably had to run around the shower to get wet. You remember some of those lines? Yeah. Coach, if you know Coach Cullen, he's got the best one-liners ever. I'm going to try this letterman's jacket on. All right, I've been dieting for a year for this moment. All right. That's not too bad, huh? I mean, a little short. I don't wear it around much, but I'm proud of this. I'm proud of being a Canfield graduate. I'm proud of this place, and I'm proud of you. I was in the choir. My senior year, I was an athlete and also in the choir. Kind of a little bit of an interesting scenario. My dad was a music professor at Youngstown State, so I didn't really have a choice. I was in the choir, so I got up and I walked over and I sang on graduation Sunday. My uncle Chuck Moffitt, who was the pastor of Canfield Presbyterian Church, gave the invocation that day. He probably married a few people up in the stands there. If you went to Canfield Presbyterian or Chuck Moffitt married you, raise your hand. So pretty neat how this community has gone. I've been able to, with my kids, my 4 kids, been able to bring them back to Canfield a few times and have some of those memories that I had. My kids have been to the Canfield Fair multiple times. They were raised in North Carolina, but we came back for the Canfield Fair a few times. I remember working the fry stand out at the fair, right? I was sure to make sure I brought my kids back to experience blueberry donuts at White House Fruit Farm. Pretty special, right? But I want to close with this. I want to talk about my kids a little bit. I want you to know that about 5 years ago, I went from being Coach Starkey to Drew's dad. So everywhere I go, I'm introduced as Drew Starkey's dad now, and I get it, kinda. Most of the time I forget that it's just Drew. He grew up, I changed his diapers, we had arguments. I was trying to make sure he was doing the right thing, but really proud of what he's been able to do. And he's not coming, by the way. He's not going to parachute in or anything like that. He's filming another movie now on location in Arkansas. He sends his regards. My second oldest, Logan. I want to give a brief story about Logan. Drew always was successful. You know, good-looking older brother, always made the basketball team. Everything he did, he was kind of successful at, was a great student. Logan, 15 months younger, came along, and Dad's a college basketball coach. Drew's on the 8th grade basketball team. Logan went out for 7th grade basketball. He got cut. That was a devastating thing for a 7th grade boy whose dad's a college basketball coach and brother's on the team. Well, Logan had found an affinity for music, and he had learned some guitar from me, and I said, hey, bud, why don't we get you guitar lessons? And so we got him guitar lessons, and within a couple months, he was better than me. Within 2 years, he was better than his guitar instructor, and he ended up finding his true passion in life, and that's music. And I just love the lesson that I learned about determination from my own son. Because 8th grade, he went out for basketball again, he got cut again. 9th grade, he went out again, he got cut his freshman year. And most people after that would have given in and said, well, maybe it's not in the cards for me. But he kept playing. And sophomore year, he got cut again. Thought he was making the team there. But sophomore year, he got cut. Junior year, he went out again. He made the team, junior year. And senior year, he hit 3 threes in the last minute 30 seconds of a game against his high school rival that they had not beaten in 10 years to win the game. And had he ever given in, he wouldn't have had that experience. Probably means more to me than it does to him, but it's a great lesson on resilience. My third child, Michaela, wonderful mother of 2. I'm a grandfather of 2 little girls. And my youngest daughter, Brooke, is living in Manhattan, a proud graduate of Kent State University. And she's a model and freelance photographer and doing some great things there as well. So really proud of my 4 kids, but none of them would have predicted that their life would have turned out just 10 years ago the way it is now. Okay, a lot of your classmates that you look around left or right of you, the sad truth is you'll never see some of them again. This will be the last day you see some of them. So make sure you hug somebody and say you appreciate them today. Maybe that wasn't your closest friend or in your friend group, or maybe it was a little bit of an outsider or somebody like that, because once again, you may not see them again, and you guys shared this moment together. It's a special time for all of you and your families. I'm going to get off the stage and let you celebrate, get your diplomas, but I really appreciate and I'm honored by the opportunity to come speak to you today, to be back in Canfield. And remember, I believe this place will become more and more special to you every day that passes into your future, and you'll realize what you had here. Congratulations, class of 2026, and go Cardinals.
Thank you, Coach Starkey, for those words of wisdom and for coming back home all the way from Arizona to celebrate with us today. At this time, we will hear from a member of the class of 2026 Cum Laude Society, Miss Anaya Khan.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the many parents, mentors, and friends in the crowd today, I thank you for joining us to celebrate this year's graduates. My name is Anaya Khan, and I am incredibly honored to be speaking on the behalf of the class of 2026. I'm not going to lie, this moment feels surreal. It feels like yesterday that we were little cards stumbling through hallways with backpacks bigger than we were.
But before I continue to address the congratulatory, sappy stuff, I'd first like to talk about something uncomfortable. Fear. You see, as unique as we all are, one thing we share is that none of us are truly fearless, even if we don't like to admit it. Some of us may feel uneasy about the unknown, or some of us may simply hate spiders. However, when I was a kid, I was really afraid of piñatas. Unconventional, I know, but aside from the blindfolded spinning and the dizziness that ensued, I learned later in life that my fear did not stem from the cardboard itself. What I was actually afraid of was swinging, missing, and failing in front of everyone. The fear of failure has become so ingrained in our society to the point where we believe failure is the enemy of success. Because of this, we do our best to avoid it. It is too often that the fear of failure hinders us from speaking up and taking chances. So as we enter into this new stage of our lives, it is crucial to accept that, 1, failure is inevitable, and 2, that's okay. We will encounter it through relationships we create, classes we take, and choices we make. But by failing, we grow as individuals. Learning from our mistakes allows us to better ourselves and build resilience in the face of adversity. So, you see, failure is not the enemy of success. It is its partner. By shifting our mindsets to embrace failure rather than fear it, we can become more confident, accepting people who are brave enough to be wrong. In my closing remarks, I would first like to thank the CHS faculty and staff for providing us with endless educational opportunities. Canfield High School has upheld its tradition of excellence because of the constant support from teachers, coaches, and administrators. Secondly, I would like to thank the parents. All of you have contributed to our success in too many ways to count. The sacrifices you have made and the guidance you have provided is deeply appreciated as we prepare to leave the nest. Finally, I'd like to thank and congratulate my peers. Over the past 12 years, we have navigated through many obstacles, jumping from awkward Zoom calls in 6th grade to the rigorous nature of high school. But despite it all, we have persevered and made it here today. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and I hope you all excel in your future endeavors. To the class of 2026, life will hand you a blindfold and a heavy bat time and time again. What's important is that you don't let fear stop you from achieving your goals. Just take a swing, and in the words of Yara Shahidi, let curiosity lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Anaya, for that wonderful speech. At this time, we will have Mr. Seacrest come forward to present the local scholarships. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing until all recipients are recognized. We would like to thank all the groups that have provided local scholarships to help our students as they further their education. At this time, Mr. Seacrest will announce the local scholarships.
I have the honor and privilege to share our scholarship recipients with you. Today we will give nearly 50 local and area scholarships totaling over $84,910. Some students have previously received their scholarships while others are hearing about them for the first time today. In addition, Canfield seniors have been offered millions of dollars in scholarships and will be utilizing, as mentioned before, $5.4 million in awards at colleges this fall. Again, students, please stand when your name is read, and please keep our applause until the end. Maya Ambrose, Nicole Judy Kerr Memorial Nursing Scholarship, $1,500. Patty Eberth Memorial Nursing Scholarship, $2,500. Michael Ambrose, Canfield Morning Basketball, $500. Ashley Auble, Rotary Club of Canfield Scholarship, Service Above Self, $4,000. Lions Club Scholarship, $750. Chloe Blott, Outstanding Business Student, $250. Gwen Blumetti, Canfield Morning Basketball, $500. Sean Bowling, Scholarship in memory of James and Coralie Senafani, $2,500. Kaylee Carney, Kyle M. Brown Memorial Scholarship, $2,500. Grace Carrier, Scholarship in memory of James and Coralie Senafani, $2,500. Sophia Castronova, Canfield PTA, $2,000. Kenreal Leadership Scholarship, $500. Mahoning Valley Basketball Official Scholarship, $1,000. Canfield Baseball Club, $500. Cameron Conrad, David Ogilvy Outstanding Math Student Scholarship, $500. Olivia Cruz, Canfield Education Association, $250. Canfield PTA, $2,000. Cole Cuffle, Canfield Football Gridiron Scholarship, $750. Remy Delois, Lions Club Scholarship, $750. Catherine Derringer, Rotary Club of Canfield Al Colson Interact Scholarship, $4,000. Stephen Patrick Scholarship, $500. Mia Dingman, Canfield Football Gridiron Scholarship, $750. Samantha Economist, Kyle M. Brown Memorial Scholarship, $2,500. Canfield Baseball Club, $500. Madeline Facemeyer, Junior Women's League of Canfield Fall Market Scholarship, $1,000. Lions Club Scholarship, $750. Nathan Ferguson, Canfield Education Association, $500. Rotary Club of Canfield Dante Zambrini Scholarship, $4,000. Canfield Cross Country Boosters, $1,000. Carly Fleming, Mahoning Valley Volleyball Officials Association, $500. Aries Gingrich, Ken Bailey Memorial Canfield Wrestling Scholarship, $1,000. Abigail Hollos, Canfield Cross Country Boosters, $1,000. Jenna Havrilla, Kenreal Leadership Scholarship, $500. Nina Havrilla, Scholarship in memory of James and Coralie Senafani, $2,500. AJ Hugo, Independent Order of Odd Fellows Scholarship, $1,500. Calvin Hively, Canfield Morning Basketball, $500. Olivia Hively, Canfield Education Association, $250. Canfield Morning Basketball, $500. Claire Rena, Junior Women's League of Canfield Fall Market Scholarship, Nancy Dove Award, $1,000. Independent Order of Odd Fellows Scholarship, $1,500. Brian and Shirley Sterling Memorial, $3,000. Canfield Gridiron Club Scholarship, $750. Grayson Jugenheimer, Karen Hummer Memorial Scholarship, $1,000. Nathan King, Canfield Band Parent Scholarship, $500. Stephen F. Snodgrass Scholarship, $500. Evan Linko, Barbara Huberty Outstanding English Student Scholarship, $500. Yasmin Mufla, American Red Cross Scholarship, $500. Cameron Nagy, Scholarship in memory of James and Coralie Senafani, $2,500. Thomas Donady Scholarship, $500. Michael Panalakis, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Rigo Scholarship, $410. Dominic Polkovich, Karen Hummer Memorial Scholarship, $1,000. Olivia Pop, Independent Order of Odd Fellows Scholarship, $500. Bryce Roberts, Fowler Little Scholarship to Westminster College, given to a senior at Canfield every other year, $282,500. Jessica Robbins, Franklin B. Walter Scholarship, $1,000. Brooklyn Roth, Stephen Patrick Scholarship, $500. Leah Salih, Canfield Education Association, $500. Natalie Sawicki, Rotary Club of Canfield Bill K. Scholarship, $4,000. Luke Scolari, Canfield Athletic Boosters Dick Weiss Scholarship, $1,000. Zachary Stillerman, Karen Hummer Memorial Scholarship, $1,000. Mia Tassone, Independent Order of Odd Fellows Scholarship, $500. Alexis DePorcer, Mark Sicer, Memorial Soccer Scholarship, $750. Janet Treveri, Canfield Athletic Boosters Dick Weiss Scholarship, $1,000. Zachary Tucker, Medical Mutual Scholarship Fund, $1,000. Lindsay Volnick, Junior Women's League of Canfield Fall Market Scholarship, $1,000. Nicholas Weber, James Watkins Memorial Scholarship, $1,000. Rotary Club of Canfield Harold Reed Scholarship, $4,000. Michael Susko Jr. and Susan B. Susko Scholarship, $750. Canfield Football Gridiron Scholarship, $750. Olivia Weber, Canfield PTA, $2,000. And Mark Weller, American Red Cross Scholarship, $500. Students, please remember to check your diplomas if you need to pick up your scholarship today. And again, congratulations to the class of 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Sechrist. At this time, guests, parents, grandparents, relatives, friends, and faculty, it is with great pleasure that I present to you this incredible class of 2026. There are scholars, athletes, musicians, artists, actors, and so much more sitting before us in this class. We are truly in the presence of future greatness. Mr. Knoll and school board members, the graduates sitting before you have completed the required course of study and other requirements of the Canfield Board of Education and the Ohio State Board of Education. At this time, they may be awarded their diplomas. Mr. Jeremy Hamilton will read the names. Row 1, will you please rise?
Kate Lillian Ambrose, summa cum laude. Nathan Joseph Benavides, summa cum laude. Brady William Casey, summa cum laude. Cameron Ryan Conrad, summa cum laude. Remy Helene Deloise, summa cum laude. Nathan Thomas Ferguson, summa cum laude. Abigail Joy Hollis, summa cum laude. Sophia Rose Cadillac, summa cum laude. Anaya Jahan Khan, summa cum laude. Yasmin Marie Muffla, summa cum laude. Annalise Marie Noble, summa cum laude. Michael Dimitri Panalakis, summa cum laude. Jessica Grace Robbins, summa cum laude. Bryce Jaden Roberts, summa cum laude. Leah Jocelyn Solly, summa cum laude. Luke Stephen Scolari, summa cum laude. Andrew Joseph Snyder, summa cum laude. Nicholas Terrence Weber, summa cum laude. Olivia Marie Weber, summa cum laude. Cole William Cuffle, magna cum laude. Thomas John Lorelli, magna cum laude. Michael Nicholas Ambrose, cum laude. Havrilla, cum laude.
When I saw it, I was like, program, I was like, how did they get
Pintia Hadley Mosier, cum laude.
How did they get in here? You know? But then he was a former. You could have spelled.
Kathy Lay Pham, cum laude.
She wants it.
Yeah.
She might not want it. All fathers.
Yeah.
Dominic Joseph Polkovich, cum laude. Leah Marie Roman, cum laude.
One fellow got $282,000 in scholarships.
282.
Brooklyn Ray Roth, cum laude.
Does he go to school?
That's local. That's why it's so much. They do one every other year.
Where's he going to school?
Natalie Sandra Sawicki, cum laude.
It's 40 minutes away. Right by her.
Western State.
It's I think it's
Catherine Rose Seamer, cum laude.
I think it's in PA.
Landon James Shina, cum laude.
That's a lot of money.
Arden Grace. Canfield tradition is for the class president to be the last person to graduate from the class. Our final graduate today, the president of the class of 2026 at Canfield High School, Shanze Salim Bajwa, cum laude.
At this time, we ask senior choir members to please come up to the stage.
Elhan's ready to play too. One, no, get something different. So one order of crying, one order of chicken salad, sure. Have all four.
Bye.
graduates.
The ceremony will conclude with Class President Shanzi Bajwa leading the class in the turning of their tassels.
Your last official duties until the high school reunion. When they don't show up.
In order to signify that we graduated, on the count of 3, we're going to turn our tassels from the right to the left. 1, 2,
Oh, go ahead.
3. Congratulations, class of 2026.
This concludes our ceremony. Please feel free to come onto the field to take pictures.
So should I take you guys home?